Welcome to Bill and Jalen's NBA Playoffs Preview.
Oh man, this is easy. If you could play for any 2014 playoff coach, who would you pick?
This is easy for me. I don't even have to think twice about it. First, Rick Carlisle. Second, Eric Spoelstra. Have you looked at the Dallas Mavericks roster? Okay. 9 of the 15 guys, nobody in the world knows who they are. First off, you know Dirk. You know about Vince and Sean Marion, who clearly are not in their prime.
Sergeant
anymore.
Vincent Lamar Carter.
Exactly. Jose Calderon does a very productive job. And Monte Ellis, who's a scorer, who's played more within the team concept, but he's not that 25-point scorer anymore.
They got the 18 minutes a game from Brandon Wright, who somehow can't play 19. If you play him 40 minutes, he'll still give you 18?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's doing a terrific job coaching that team. Rick Carlisle was the associate head coach when I was in Indiana for 3 years. He's been coach of the year. He's been a champion, so he's my number one pick. My number two pick, Eric Spoelstra. The way he's become a champion so young in his coaching career, he's going to shatter a lot of win percentage numbers. He's going to shatter a lot of things a lot of young coaches wish they could shatter so young in their career. Plus, I'll be living in Miami.
Hold on. It's Doc Rivers. I know. I don't know what happened. I know you can't believe I have a BlackBerry either.
Join the club. We're the only two people in the world that still have them.
It's our sponsor. Even though they're in the business. Yeah. Okay. He said he's really disappointed. He doesn't understand.
I want to come off.
He thought you guys had something. My number one pick. I can't believe you didn't go with Popovich. Not only would I want Popovich to be my coach, I just want to be friends with him. I just want to have a relationship with him. Would that be weird if I just emailed him and be like, hey, Greg, can you just email every once in a while? I just want to know more about you. He's so interesting. All his like weird wine collection and his weird fascination with like battles and history. I think he's got all this stuff going. And just the way he uses his team and he has a relationship with each guy, and he really puts real thought into week to week, game to game. You know what, I'm going to rest Parker for a couple games. This will let Patty Mills play 35 minutes a game. He'll get some confidence. I'm going to sit Kawhi a couple extra games, let him rest for this injury because this allows me to play this guy, this lineup. I think he's so smart and so just the way he's kind of reinvented the NBA coach during a regular season. I would love to be part of that.
And also, he's one of those kind of people that their public persona doesn't really represent who he is.
Totally. He's two different people.
He's like many of us. When you're in the public eye, when you're sitting on the bench, when you're standing on the sideline, whether you're doing an interview at the end of the first quarter, you're at work. So you're emotionally invested into the score of the game. And you're living and dying by every bounce of the ball, every blow of the whistle. Away from basketball, as you mentioned, one of the most pleasant, knowledgeable people that the NBA has seen and a joy to be around.
You know what he's like? Bill Belichick. Another guy who has no use for all the public parts of being a coach. I don't have to be friendly in your press conference. It's not my job to give you great quotes. I don't really want to tell you what we're doing and why. I'm just trying to win games. All I care about is my players. That's it. I don't care about you guys.
I can appreciate that because I got a chance to play for the all-time greatest player who was that as a player and as an exec. That's how Larry Bird is.
Right. He doesn't care. It's not his job to fill your notebook. But that is what one of the things that bothers me about the way the media covers in sports. You always hear the media will always defend and love anybody who makes their job easier. Like you see with Mark Jackson right now. I mean, whether you think he's doing a great job or a bad job, the fact is he came from ESPN. He's a great guy. I loved him. I worked with him. I genuinely like Mark Jackson. He'll always give quotes to anybody at any time. I think Doc Rivers is like this too. And when somebody is that accessible and that cool and that nice, it makes it really hard to criticize them.
Mike D'Antoni was a perfect example. Played for Phoenix with him. He would have open practices.
Right.
And allow the media to come in. So those guys almost feel a kinship to him to where they're going to not blast them even though things aren't going so well.
Would you, if you were a coach, would you be the Belichick Popovich, I'm not giving anybody anything guy, or would you be the super accessible, I'm taking care of everybody because they'll take care of me later guy?
I think I would have the Rick Carlisle demeanor. I really would.
You'd shave your head?
He picks and chooses his spots.
Yeah.
Sometimes when he's upset with his team, he's very stern privately. He's really upset with his team, he may say it publicly to send a message. He does, even though he looks like Jim Carrey, has a funny side also, because he was a former player. He has been around the league a long time, so he's seen both sides.
The one guy I wouldn't be like is Jason Kidd, because I think you should show up on time for your own practices when you're the coach. Come on, Jason Kidd. Anyway, I go Popovich, you go
Carlisle.
Carlisle and Spoelstra. That's our answer.